Hi, so I wanted to do a more long-term review of my Red Paw Packs flat iron pack. Had it for about a year and a half now. Had it for maybe 2,000, maybe a bit more trail kilometers. No sort of longer trips due to, well, world situation, but I had a lot of weekend and shorter trips, and I use it a lot on day hikes and this type of things also. So I had quite a lot of use on it, so I have better experience for giving a sort of long-term review of the pack. It's a custom-made pack from Red Paw Packs, small US company, mainly made. This is a 28-liter version where you have more or less 35 liters combined with outer pockets. So what is the pack supposed to do? Well, it's supposed to hold your stuff. So I try and break down what kind of functions I look for in a pack. I want something that's light, I want something that's simple, I want something that's robust, I want something that's comfortable to wear, and I want something that hinders my accessibility for important gear least possible. Meaning food, water, gloves, camera gear, whatever kind of stuff, map and so on, phone, that I want to use during the day while I'm hiking and I don't have to stop. I want that to be as accessible as possible. And I also want to have easy access for example, puffy jacket, this type of stuff. So that's what I'm looking for in a pack. Something that moves with my body, that's why I choose frameless packs. Something that sits close to the body, that hinders your natural movement the least possible, and that gives you the best possible opportunity to use your gear while you're hiking. And this is what I find that the Red Paw Packs is probably the pack I tried that does this the best. I just want to go through sort of the features of the pack, and while I do it I also sort of show what type of gear I usually use when I use this pack. Normally I use it with a base weight around 3.5–4 kilos for 3 to 4 season use. 4 kilos is winter season down to -15, maybe 20 degrees. 3.5 kilos is more, or even 3 kilos is more summer season. I can carry up towards 10 days of food in this when I have 3 season gear, and maybe a week, maybe a bit less when I have winter gear in it. So that's sort of the range, but then you have to be sort of fairly ultralight to do that kind of stuff. So just to go through the features, on the front here you can see you have two mesh. This is Spandura mesh pockets. It's a bit more sort of stretchy and a bit more durable than thinner mesh types, and I really like that. As I said, this is a 35-liter pack. It weighs about a bit more than 500 grams with all the modifications I had and all the things. I usually use these pockets for soft water bottles. I use for 600 milliliter Hydro Pack soft water bottles. I can put Katadyn filters on them. So they're very accessible, easy to refill. I can see how much I have, and you have some weight distribution to the front also, that you sort of have less sort of impact on your natural movement. They have also two small pockets up here on the straps. On the one side I usually have like a small hand sanitizer bottle. Then I have my compass. I had a small modification where I have sort of a string here that I can put my compass in, and then I have a mosquito head net. On the other side I usually carry a small monocular. I use this for trail finding, for wildlife, for camp spots selection and all these kind of things. And then lower it has a fanny pack, integrated fanny pack, that you can also use on its own. You can just clip off and use on its own. Again, the whole pack is made of DCF, of 140 grams of 5-ounce DCF. Also the fanny pack is made from this. It's seam sealed on the inside, and it has a waterproof zipper, and then it has the same pocket as on the shoulder straps here in this Spandura type of stretch mesh, that you can also have a water bottle here, which I really like this option of. If I want to go on a peak when I reach camp, for example, I can just take this with me, put the water bottle in this, have a small jacket and maybe some camera equipment or something like this in my fanny pack. As I said, it can be detached. Normally I would have my camera gear and sort of smaller items I want accessible during the day, and I would have my phone on top of it. and sunglasses if it's not sunny, stuff like this. And maybe I would have like half a kilo or even less in this, depending on what type of gear I bring. Then on the side you have two big stretch mesh pockets. I'm just going to take the pack off in a minute. Underneath you have a front open stretch mesh pocket, again this Bandura mesh, that has fairly big room. I use this for gloves, for snacks, sometimes for map, all these type of things that fit really well here and that you want accessible during your hike. And then underneath I made a custom modification. I put in some straps so I can have my trekking poles easily accessible. I can easily access them while I'm hiking, and I can put them back also while I'm hiking. I really like that feature, that you can easily access them and that they're not in the way. Sometimes I see these Osprey type things here on the shoulder straps, something like this. I find that this gets sort of in your way when you're hiking. So this is by far the best solution, to have some straps underneath your pack. Looking at the back side, you have two large stretch mesh pockets that you can reach behind you. Usually here I have this is a titanium bottle I use for this can be used for cold soaking, it can be used as a water bottle of course, but I can also use it for cooking on, so it's sort of multi-use. Then I usually have my tent on the outside also, 6 Moon Design Gatewood Cape. I will have my rain gear, wind pants. I usually have like one big MSR stake that I can use as a trowel as well. All these types of things that I want fairly easily accessible, but I often have to take the pack off to put on anyways, like rain gear for example, stuff like this. Then one of the unique features in the pack, and something that I was a bit skeptical about in the beginning but I came to really love, is this. It has a very long all body waterproof zipper. Now the main compartment is again made of DCF and it's seam sealed, so that's waterproof, but you have very easy access here. You can just unzip it and you have access, for example, your food bag, your puffy jacket you can have close to here, so you can reach them much easier than you can if you have to unroll the roll top here. Then you have a strap going over and classical roll top. With buttons. I prefer buttons to Velcro. Some people use Velcro, I don't really know why, that snags your clothes. Often I will have my puffy jacket at the top. The tent I would usually have on the outside. I would have like a ditty bag where I have my electronics, wallet, toothbrush, this kind of personal stuff. I would have a food pot with my cook gear and food of course. I would have, this is a HMG Hyperlight Mountain Gear pillow, DCF pillow, where I have my spare clothes in winter time. I often bring also some insulated synthetic pants for example. But usually I just bring like a spare of wool tights, a long wool t-shirt and some extra socks. Then I have my bivvy. Usually I will have the quilt inside the bivvy to add sort of extra moisture protection. But I have a non-waterproof gram expert bivvy, around 160 grams. And then I have my Astuca's Cestrial's poncho quilt, which is a synthetic Apex 133 insulated quilt that can also be used as a poncho. So you have a hole here you can open up and you can put it on as a poncho. I really like this type of multi-use gear. It's very warm for using as a quilt, so if you have chilly nights or chilly mornings you can use this, and it means that you have to bring you can bring a smaller but more active layer type of insulated jacket. I use a Montbell Thermarep for example. I can use that actively down to minus 10-15 degrees with the layers I have, but I can use this in camp with my synthetic Astuca Cestrial's pants, and then I can easily sit in camp for minus 10 degrees. And then at the very bottom I have my Thermarest X-Lite Women's Edition, which I find is quite, for me it's quite good down to minus 15, maybe even 20 degrees in winter time. So this also works for winter, but very good small pack. And typical sort of cottage type bag with main compartment, and this is seam sealed, and again heavy duty DCF. So my overall impressions and sort of review, did it live up to the sort of expectations and the demands I usually put on a pack? That it's light, that it's durable, that it's flexible, that it's adaptable, and that you have access to your things while you move. I don't really have a negative thing to say about it, to be honest. Durability wise, I haven't seen any type of signs of wear or tear. I had like small scrapes when I did bushwhacking and stuff like this on the Spanduri mesh, but it's really more durable than normal mesh types. I use it quite hard sort of in forest environments and this kind of stuff. So durability wise, it certainly lives up. Comfort wise, I love the shoulder straps, these broader type of running vest style straps. Really good comfort with the sit pad on my back. It carries very well. And with doubled straps here in the front and strap here, you can really sort of tuck it in. You can also, I use it sometimes for fast packing. You can also sort of jog or a small run with it. So really high comfort wise. And then again, the last thing that I look for is this with access of gear. I have all the things that I need accessible, and they give weight distribution also. I have my pockets up here. I had custom made sort of a zip string, so I can sort of cinch down the bottles here. I have access for water, I have access for small things I want, I have access for my electronics. I can reach underneath for food and snacks during the day, or for gloves or a hat, or for a map if I use that. I have very easy access for my trekking pools, so I can use them for uphills or technical downhills, and I can put them back while I hike if I do flatter, less technical stuff. And I have access for stuff here very easily on the outside, for rain gear, for windproof gear, for that type of stuff. And I usually keep my tent also on the outside for easy access to set up faster when I reach camp. And then the back long zipper is really something that I wish more used. It's the only one I've seen using it. It really gives easy access for your fiber pants or fiber jacket or whatever type of thing. Also for your food, for example, you don't have to unroll it, but you can sort of fast get in and out. So all in all, my thoughts on it is best pack I ever had. I had a few different type of cottage packs, but this is the one that gives me less worry and gives me more options and gives me sort of the most possible flow when I hike. I don't have to be annoyed that I can't reach things. I don't have to be annoyed that it's sitting uncomfortable or that my back can't breathe, for example, stuff like this. So it's the pack that hinders me least, and this is in some ways what I'm looking for in a pack. The one I notice the least, and the one I don't have to think about where is the stuff or how do I get to it. So very high recommendation for me. Nothing really negative to say about it, because it is a cottage type product. It's also something that you decide for yourself in many ways what type you want. Of course it could be lighter perhaps. I do have some lighter packs that I use for less heavy use, but otherwise really if you're into a ultralight pack for going long distances and having gear accessible that's waterproof, that's very durable also, and very high comfort, this is definitely an option to look into, to consider. So very high recommendation for me. I paid for my own pack, so it's not something I'm paid to say. It's just something that my 15 even plus years of ultralight hiking of experience tells me that this is something I'm going to use in years in advance for all types of trips. And it's something that hopefully, and I think, will last quite a long time also. I hope you can use this review. If you have any questions, of course, don't hesitate to ask. I'll put my lighter pack down below, and if you have any questions about especially the pack, but also about my gear, don't hesitate to put questions. I also have a few other reviews. I have a small review of the Cestrios poncho if you're interested in that. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed my short long-term review of the Red Paw packs, flat iron pack, and if you're interested, it's definitely a good option.